I'm Stephanie B, and welcome to Starbase Expanded episode 9. Well, is it 9 episodes already? And this week, we got some bit of foggy weather. We managed to get some good photos as we saw through over the weekend with the live stream and so on. And yeah, we've got Alex, we've got BJ, and we've got Ryan Webber in the as compares today, and we can see Jake's in here as well. There's quite a few people this week. So thanks everyone for joining us there in Patreon Lounge, and thank you all YouTube members for joining us over on YouTube. Okay, we might as well start with the big news of the week, which of course would be the deluge testing, water deluge testing. Man, that was a lot of water. I think this was the best. No, where was it? The best post was this one.
Yeah, lab.
That one right there was a really good one, just showing, especially as it was heading towards the highway and showing that asymmetry.
So the asymmetry is towards the tower, is that what we're saying there? Or is it like asymmetry towards the flame trenches?
Toward the tower.
Yeah, the two sides facing tower were definitely more than the two facing the BQDs.
That was a lot of water, eh? A lot of water real quick. I can see the amount of water, just big chunks of water in amongst it all. It's like huge amounts of water. I think there's one from WA. It shows from the other angle. You can see when the relief valves open up. You can see that, well, not straight away, but shortly after the plume, the water starting to die down again.
I mean, the config makes sense. That's the place you want to protect the most. I was always curious at how they were going to protect that one area in between the trench wall and the tower, and now we have our answer. That's how they're doing it, by putting a ton of water there. That's how they're going to protect it.
Is it actually going there, or is it splitting on either side of the tower?
Well, it's splitting. Oh, here you go.
Yeah, it definitely feels like it comes out it does feel like it, as opposed to being like fully cylindrical, it does feel like it kind of comes out the four sides and the corners are just kind of ancillary almost.
It's faceted, but it looks like it's almost intentionally avoiding the tower. Especially from this angle, you'd see curtains of water coming down the sides if it was impacting it.
Yeah.
It looks pretty dry.
It looks like they set up the holes perfectly to go around the tower and around the BQDs. Perfectly.
Especially there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's to protect the top deck. And where the expected, because the difference between this and pad scraps plate, you don't know where the plume is necessarily going to hit, so you have to have the whole surface with enough pressure behind it that the plume interactions won't block your flow.
And it's hard to tell. I think they have some spraying like directly on the BQDs, basically, like right at the front of it. It's hard to tell.
Sort of like they had little bits of spray on the legs of the OLM.
Yeah, I think literally it's all just to protect all the major components and to split it up, so when the exhaust hits it, I mean, it'll turn everything into steam into NOx, but I mean, everything should be protected just fine.
You shouldn't get NOx from this.
Not this one?
No, this is cooling. The interactions are completely shouldn't generate because you're cooling, not heating. And when you're coming to a screeching stop, even though it shouldn't transfer heat, it does.
So not only protecting the plate, but once the rocket gets up a bit, is it also like, like a blanket to help with the acoustic energy as well? Like it seems like a lot of misted water for the whole, energy to sort of dissipate through, sort of like, like a larger area, so to speak.
The shear shocks coming off the plume wouldn't necessarily be impacting with it. And that would only be directly underneath for reflections of waves. It wouldn't be a global. I mean, it's strictly to protect the structure.
Yep.
And
yeah,
this
all
guy
that
that way.
water will.
Sorry.
All that water will just help protect all the ground and components in that area. Is what it'll do. You not only have the water from the plate, but you also have the water coming out of the trench too. Once
that water
you
won't be
clear the
coming. That water probably will not be leaving the trench with their until after the.
Yeah.
I mean, this is basically when it starts its gravity turn, and it starts flopping to protect the back end of the OLM that was getting cooked previously.
This guy though, it looks like when he stops, he picks up his phone. He looks like he reaches down.
I mean, wouldn't you? Like,
Yeah.
Just there.
I mean, I like that's not a small vehicle, and that is a giant plume of water. Like seriously, like
Epic proportions.
Well, there was one of the
decides-
playbacks from Avid Space. I think it was in Nerdlecam. That was funny because there was a semi coming down the road, one of the belly dumps, and it almost looked like he veered into the oncoming lane to try and go around the water. I think it was just the way I watched a car later on and kind of make the same turn. So I think it's just the way the road bent, but it kind of felt like that bottom one there is that belly dump right there. When it gets to about the LR 11,000. Just past it, it kind of goes. It looks like it's avoiding the water here, like right about there. It looks like it moved to the other lane. It's like I'm going to get wet.
Yeah, that's
you can really see where all the pressure is. It's pretty obvious. It splits the tower, and then whatever's left of that water pressure is is just basically protecting the service structure and the BQDs.
If you look at it top down, the two quadrants where the QDs are on do not have a lot of surface area.
Yeah, because the QDs themselves cover up so much of the plate. Yeah,
and the plate pressure is probably constant. I mean, you'd want it to be running at whatever your pressure is you're trying to counter.
I noticed when they're closing the clamps, they kind of close them one at a time, then open them up one at a time. Obviously, that's not going to happen on launch, but obviously they have that ability though at the moment to operate them individually.
I think they were doing it because they cleared just about everything out, and they were doing it one by one to see how because they had a drone staring at every single one that closed and opened. They're probably checking to make sure it wasn't binding or anything, and everything was working just fine before they fired it off. That's kind of what it looked like to me, anyways. But
well, and I'd imagine the bulk of the plume is going to be like pointed kind of towards the tower, right, as it's starting to lift off versus the QDs.
It'll be heading more
towards the trench exit.
Yeah, it'll be it should turn. If you look at overhead where the trajectory would be for their current flight paths, would take it over the it would cross over the horizontal tanks midway between the large hot dogs is where that's where its trajectory takes it. But what's the current ones heading to? What about?
So in the past, the plume was, where was the BQD? Sort of this way a little bit, wasn't it? It was sort of interacting pretty well on the old BQD, wasn't it?
Which was right around the tip where the chopsticks were. It's for the mount was past the bright orange basket previously. It was well past that area, Steph.
Yeah, above that boom lift is where the OLM, because it came off that right corner.
No, it's
well forward.
Yeah, more over there.
More over that way.
Yeah.
Of course, it's almost on the diagonal, wasn't it? Actually.
Yeah.
So Martin has a question. Martin's wondering, how are they pressurizing that much H2O?
They have the gas gens, and they're taking it up probably to 200, 250 psi.
And they can pressurize each system individually and everything. So it helps them be able to maintain a pressure between all of the major components. So the ridge, the buckets, and the plate.
And the ramp of the spray is probably indicative of where it'll be. Peak will probably be right at liftoff.
So the plume, going back to say the gravity turn, I guess. So it's going, that way. So the plume, should interact somewhere over here.
Yeah. That's for their current trajectory. Their current launch trajectory, the new two ones that were just approved will be different.
Yeah, they'll be able to go either more north or more south. So it'll be, they may hit the corner of that. They may basically between the corners of that is kind of where the trajectory is, or a little bit even more. If they really go north, they might toast the LOX QD slightly, but with that amount of water, it really shouldn't be that much of an issue.
Yeah, because it's the two areas, or the front of the tower, sort of the staging area, and then the back half of the. So, funny, the two areas of the pancakes that aren't interfered with.
Okay, question from Event Dudes. The gaseous methane, I'm going to say methane for now, and you Americans make me change the way I talk. Gaseous methane from here and gaseous oxygen from here. And the gaseous methane would be filled back through those lines under here into this framework here. So somewhere back through the the pump farm, sorry. They fill this high pressure gaseous methane here and oxygen here.
Don't they fill the LN2 off that too?
Yeah, tank farm.
Yeah. Literally.
High pressure gas is not generated in the pump area. It's generated
tank farm
under the tanks and next to. So you're right the first time.
Literally the entire tank farm supply, other than the water, everything for the pressurization for the water deluge is supplies by the main tank farm, which is a really nice system because it's easy.
Everything is supplied by the isolation and purging assembly.
Yeah, that's sort of where I was heading. Yeah, it was actually more of that. Yeah, thanks.
Including the water.
Including the water now, yep. With that new water line there.
Yeah, if you think that line's crazy, the additional LOX prepress line they added to the tank pump area.
They finally have that water line hooked up?
Yes.
And running? There we go.
Don't know if it's running. It's hooked up.
Yeah, I don't think we've gotten a really clear picture next to the vertical tanks if it's actually hooked into that manifold that goes over to the horizontals or not. But I know it's close, if not already done.
Do we even know if it
doesn't go to that manifold? It goes underneath.
Yeah, I know it doesn't. Yeah, I know it doesn't go to the offload manifold, but there's a manifold system underneath the tanks that it goes to that feeds the bottom of all the tanks.
Yeah, Zach and I have spent hours dissecting slivers of pixels trying to figure that out, BJ.
Yeah.
Ridiculous amount of time.
They set off that DSS a decent amount of times.
Considering quite a bit of water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, especially when you see those two Movac trucks and those tanks are probably hold more than each of them.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they're quite big tanks. So I guess I was going to say, we don't even know if this is hooked up to the town water supply yet, but I guess it's obviously not because they're still using the Movacs.
Basically, they have the option to hook it up once they can. They can hook up to a main water supply. It's just until that happens, they're going to be still trucking it in.
Yeah, hopefully that goofy manifold goes away.
With the hose.
Yeah.
Especially since
again,
they're not even using the 13 ports. They're just using that end port with the extension hose.
Hey,
Like what was the idea there to put those 13 ports in and put it there where it's I know there are truckers that are sometimes pretty dang good, but that's like that's a that's not the greatest spot to put all that.
what size trucks would you have that you could fit 13 in that area? Asking.
little mini miner trucks.
Little pickups, like.
I mean, look at the white pickup.
I mean, like you could drive two Movacs in there, line them side by side, and hook them up. That's about all you could really do, right? Like,
But the ridiculous part is it stops down to the same size line, so you're not going to get, unless you really crank the pressure up, and then what's the point? That much more.
Yeah,
even still, you're not going to get that much more flow.
Just leave the bollards, and get rid of the manifold. That's at least once they don't need it anymore. Put it that way.
MIUs, you could be like a football team's watering station. Just saying.
So they fill the tanks now via this pipe, and now they've got this new water mains going over to this pipe, so they must connect somewhere underneath.
There's several manifolds. There's one directly, you can see it from some angles, closer to the weir, and then
down under there somewhere.
Yeah. And
yeah,
there's quite a bit happening under these in addition.
Yeah. Now again, Event Dudes asked the question. Yeah, the liquid nitrogen also is in here. That's a liquid nitrogen line coming from over here, coming from that liquid nitrogen line on this system, the purge system. So everything in this, all the commodities in this farm, or whatever you want to call it, this system here, is all supplied by this.
That's a fun vent. Those are some fun vents. I wonder when those will get used in a chill down sequence. There's going to be a couple of vents we're going to have to watch for. On the ice, that vent, yeah.
Oh yeah, those two.
Yeah. My guess is those would be for just your basic chill down. Unless, just
depressing the system.
Yeah, so probably after a launch or something.
Yeah, because there's only one liquid line here, and that goes to, and it's really not plumbed into anything other than the deflector farm.
So Martin's curious, do we know how many tanks they emptied on the test?
All of them, probably.
Probably half of the water.
Probably half the water. Because what, they hold 800,000?
No, it's less than you would think.
Well, I can't remember how much they hold, but I know in a launch situation they use like 450,000.
Yeah.
Here at Scrap, they were using around 160 for launch. They've asked for up to 360, 380, I think.
I'd have to look at the EIS again.
Yeah, but they probably never will hit that number, because that'll be something they're constantly going to optimize down.
Yeah,
so I think another part of that question was it seemed to sound like which tanks were emptied, and you've got to remember all the tanks were used. So these 5 were used for the flame deflector. These 3 were used for the ridge cap, and then these 3 were used for the top deck. So they all get used. And what you say, probably about half. When I said all of it, I mean all of the tanks. Yeah, so because there would be a little bit of water, at least some water left over in reserve for the landing, of course. The cap, sorry.
Reading the report, or what they've stated in some of their the reports, it would almost seem that they're on the bubble of being able to reset and do 2 with the old setup, but I'm thinking more of the water in it is dead pool rather than usable capacity.
I was going to say they probably wanted to try to set up a way that they could fire this twice if they needed to, like do back-to-backs without having to fill the whole thing back up again, but I don't know if they're able to do that or not.
Yeah, I mean, there's only so much usable capacity you can get out of these with the way they're pressurizing it before you'll start ingesting a lot of gas. And
So are they still using the mini Raptors to pressurize?
I mean, I hate that name. They're gas generator. Look at any turbine, be it in a plane, turbo pump, whatever. It's just the it's a high output burner.
All it really does, to tell everyone, all it really does is you take gaseous oxygen, gaseous methane, and you burn it, and then you throw in liquid nitrogen, and the combustion vaporizes the liquid nitrogen. And when you go from a liquid to a gas that quick, especially something like that, it rapidly expands. So not only do you get a bunch of gas, but the rapidly expansion also helps with pressure. So it just instantly pressurizes the tubes, which pressurizes the tanks, which then shoves the water through, and boom. It's a very simplistic system.
Yeah, it's more complex than the Massey's one, and that one's more complex than the dumb 39.
Yeah, that one was open valves and high pressure goes in and then the water comes out. That's all that one was.
Then I mean, the OG stuff at the Cape where you have the water tower and you're just using gravity, and then you have valve arrays that you start opening your valves up to ramp your flow that way and modulate.
The nice thing with these is you can control the pressure. So you don't have to run them all. You can run 2 out of the 4 or 1 out of the 2 and control the pressure coming out. So like when SpaceX goes and does a static fire of a booster, they don't have to use as much water or as much pressure out of the ridge or the bucket.
They do.
Or a launch.
Unfortunately, they do. You have no. If you're static firing half a bank, or if you pick the right Raptors with this, you could avoid running the ridge, but to keep the water flow coming out at a fast enough rate and pressure that it won't be stopped by the impingement, the stagnation point of the plumes, you're stuck running at whatever pressure that is.
That's the 39A one, simple gravity, simple valves, and away it goes.
So, like 39B as well.
Yeah, you're kind of stuck unless you could individually control the outlets on the deflector, where the orifice and all the orifices. You are basically have a pressure floor that you kind of have to run the system at. Last thing you want is, it's none of the water coming out because it can't fight the pressure.
Yeah, I guess that would be the question on what the pressure is of 33 engines at half power compared to max. At that point, it may not make a difference at that distance at all. But I mean, unless you know exactly what the exhaust pressure is, it's kind of hard to know, I guess.
Well, what your mass flow is going out. You know what pressure you have to be in the combustion chamber to get that mass flow out the choked throat. And then you also know how much it'll be expanding, and then you say screw it and you'll just run it at you're never going to dance along and try and match output curves because, well, changing the speed of an incompressible liquid is.
Because I will say it seemed like they didn't run. They definitely didn't run the trench at max yesterday. Because we've seen the weird geysers go all the way up to like near the top of the tower, and it definitely did not do that yesterday. It was only about like halfway. So it seemed like they went with less pressure yesterday in the trench. And I think yesterday was more about testing the plate, but they also wanted to test the trench because they also wanted to do the whole thing at once.
The plate being the top deck.
Yeah.
The pancake.
Yeah.
I'm just calling it the plate because it's just easier.
I was just clarifying, just for my own benefit.
But I would be curious to see if they do change it for static fire. You're probably right. I don't know. I'm wrong a lot, so you never know. You know, as we both are at times too. So I go with that.
That's the fun.
It is fun.
We'll find out hopefully in like a few weeks, right?
Yeah.
It's like 3 vents. There's the weir when they fill the weir up, the water coming out, and then as they finish the test, there's the gas escape from the tanks, and then the third depress is where they over here they depress the whole nitrogen system here.
But pro tip: the nitrogen system you can watch beforehand, because as soon as it's on, it's exhausting.
Over here, okay.
Yeah. So if you're,
it just gets covered.
Yeah, I think Y had a shot yesterday from looking from the beach over. You could tell exactly when it was going to happen just by watching.
I think our south cam shot. We also had a wide shot with Dune too. That might have with one of our Dune cameras that might have caught it as well.
I don't know if it was in the stream or not.
BJ, I can't unsee that truck veering to the left. Every time it plays.
So, Alex,
sorry, more questions.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. No, you go ahead, please.
Alex, I was just curious, what do we call that system that, if it's not called mini, I mean, I know it's not called mini Raptors, but what would we call it?
They're just they're essentially just gas generators or turbines. They're the business end of any gas turbine. If I should probably post some images. You can almost identical shape for gas turbines for power generation or even micro turbines. You just have a can and mixing and a combustion chamber, which is basically extended pipe, and there's a sleeve in it where normally you'd be pulling air in to try and cool it. But in this case, they're spraying liquid nitrogen in the annular space between the outer wall and the combustion wall.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
So.
Yeah, dude said gas generators. Same thing. Gas turbines.
Yeah, I mean they're dead. Yeah. It's dead simple. Every jet has them. Every natural gas power plant has them. There
are some
everywhere.
old. I think there's some because I think there are some old turbojets in even maybe some of the earlier turbofans had cannular combustion chambers, which literally this is basically what it is. You took a can out of that and just instead of using air and Jet A, you're using Pyro 2 and gas methane. So you're doing that, and all you're doing is using that heat to vaporize LN2, which basically turns it into just turns it into a high pressure gas. I don't think it has a turbine in it, but it doesn't need to have one. I mean, you're not turning a pump. There's no reason to have a pump when you vaporize LN2 that quickly. That's going to be more than enough pressure all on its own. But it is a gas generator is the
literally
name
just that part there.
Yeah,
literally just that part.
And if you look at modern gas turbines for power plants, the ones they're trying to develop for carbon capture, where you're actually using gaseous oxygen and methane, you're trying not to use air because you don't want to deal with the nitrogen side products. So
in the main difference is in this firing part, they're using gaseous methane and gaseous oxygen, and instead of air coming through getting expanded, liquid nitrogen's coming through and getting expanded.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's literally what's
wow.
happening. And then for like a jet engine, that hot air is then used to spin a turbine, which then spins a compressor, or a main fan, which helps bring air in to the combustion chamber, and it's a whole cycle, self-sustaining thing. For this one, of course, it has to be supplied by high pressure lines and everything else, but you get the idea.
And they're using the energy to pressurize tanks and not
and not run a turbine.
Right. They're not expanding the heat to change it to kinetic energy.
I like the idea. It's a very simplistic design. You can get decent pressure out of it. And why not?
It's a crazy good idea. It's a really awesome idea, to be honest. Like, whoever come up with that, it's a really neat bit of engineering.
They went on the shelf and remembered something from one of their
1950s
AE classes, and we're like, "Oh, remember when we learned about gas turbines?"
Yeah, right. Well, I mean,
we have pre-burners in all of our rocket engines as well, huh?
That is literally the same thing that's inside of it's not the same thing, but it's literally the same principle that's inside of a Raptor engine. You're using liquid oxygen and liquid methane to burn, which then spins a turbine, which spins a pump, which then supplies your propellants into your main combustion chamber, and voila.
And I don't get them all confused now with turbines. No turbines involved at all.
And you just made a full circle because you called them mini Raptors, which is quite funny.
I did not call them mini Raptors.
No,
you did. You totally did. I heard you. I was listening. We have more questions if you guys are ready.
Hold the tape. I don't believe you.
My friend, you were here.
Side. I win.
No, Alex is not on your side.
He just in this instance, I'm defending Ryan.
In this instance.
Enjoy it while you can.
So in the massive system, they use water to heat the liquid nitrogen up, whereas in here they use a methane oxygen flame to heat the nitrogen up. And the exhaust too. The exhaust, which would be steam and carbon dioxide, also gets injected into this pipe as well. The expanded gases, which probably aren't that expanded, would they? After they've gasified the nitrogen, the actual plume's probably not that expanded anymore.
It's expanded enough. I mean,
it adds a bit, I guess.
It's a dead simple system.
Yeah. And then they can regulate their pressures here with these outlets here, and also when they finish, they can decompress the whole system here, and then they can decompress the whole nitrogen system through these vents. So the nitrogen system's under pressure when it goes into the expanders, into these gas generators, which that's the same pressure. I think that what we just learned on Zach's new episode, the liquid nitrogen pressure going in, similar to the gaseous nitrogen pressure going out.
It would be substantially higher.
And then, so once they stop expanding it and shut the burners down, there's a lot of pressure still in the nitrogen system. They vent it out through here. This must turn that liquid pressure into some kind of gas, because it only dissipates gas. Or is it gas coming off the?
No, that's the deep. I mean, that's so they chill down the lines, the primary supply lines for the LN2, and then the LN2 goes in. The deep press for the gaseous nitrogen are the valves that are after the burners. That's the depress for that. The depress for the entire nitrogen system to take the boiled off stuff that's already in there are those vents right there. That's the depress of the liquid side.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. But why doesn't it vent liquid?
Why would it?
Well, it does.
You're venting if they're storing these tanks, which I'm not entirely sure that they're storing them at atmosphere. because all of the vertical tanks are running that they're using for pressure building for their tanks run at substantially higher, probably 30 or 40 bar, and that's just their pressure. Because if
ones,
yep,
Yep.
that would be LNG, or I mean liquid methane. And one of those verticals is oxygen, and one of them's nitrogen at the other farm. Because the thing is, if you're pressurizing this up to, I don't know, 30 bar, let's say, the tanks will, heat loss, heat entering, the liquid temperature keeps going up, and sort of like a pressure cooker raises the boiling point of water. The same thing happens here. So when you open up those valves that take it down to atmosphere, you're going to get a whole lot of boiling happening in those tanks, and you're going to lose quite a bit of liquid, quite a bit of because it's been living at a higher pressure. So they're probably venting the lines that are feeding the gas generators, because I don't think they're probably bothering to try and push it back. Yeah.
If you open this pipe up to air, it'll vaporize as it's coming out anyway.
Yeah. And the main tanks are probably leaving at whatever their operation pressure is, because yo-yoing them it's the whole reason, right? When they're doing the proof tests and they vent the vehicle tanks, the propellant tanks, and you get that frost comes. That's from what liquid is flashing into gas, because it's held above its saturation point that's dependent on pressure.
Yeah.
So.
Cool. Thanks for that. So yeah, there's a couple of places they depress. Yeah, they press the actual gas system over here on all of them, and then they can depress the whole nitrogen system over here.
Yeah,
before the burners.
Yeah, because the pressure in the tanks is the liquid nitrogen is substantially higher than the pressure that's feeding the water tanks post gas generators. You need a sufficient pressure gradient to push it
through.
Yeah. Unless they want to, for no real reason, put turbo pumps in there.
Yeah, which didn't happen.
Just a blowdown system would be, and they have that all over the site, so it should be fine.
Yeah. Cool. So that's the gas generator. That's the water supply side of the whole deluge. Awesome. This is the reason for the show. We can sort of go down those rabbit holes. So good on you.
So I have more rabbit holes because I have more questions for you guys.
Sure,
Even Waterman's wondering, would a desalination plant be feasible?
Yes, question mark. I don't know what I know California is next to impossible here, because we have strict what you get a brine stream coming out when you desalinate, and depending upon which regulatory regime you're working under, depends how you dispose of that. In California, it's easier to evaporate it because they treat it as industrial waste that you can't return back. Even though if you mixed it with a large volume seawater, you could put it in, because the main risk is with the heavy brine, it won't mix very well. It will just flow along the bottom and kill a lot of your aquatic life that lives on the surface and in the mud and sand on the seafloor. So there's a good reason why, but it's just, yeah, it's possible, but I don't know how Texas or regulates that sort of thing.
You probably don't. Sorry.
Texas has a more advanced and greener energy grid than California.
I know. Well, we don't have a good energy grid at all here.
Yeah,
it's
ours
hard
is
to do,
crap
even though we
because-
talk a big game. Yeah.
it's
So
all.
Event Dudes also has a question.
Oh,
Sorry,
no.
go ahead. It's all.
No. It's getting dangerously political.
Yeah. So Event Dudes is wondering, so after seeing the top deck deluge, what does anyone think the extra deluge pipe is for then? Still rainbirds?
I don't really know. Like, if they fly a few, my guess is they have that there. I forget which tanks it would be hooked up to.
It comes off of the main wings, the deluge, the sides, the ramps.
So
the buckets.
Yeah, that's because the biggest water supply, and you could, in theory, pull off that if you need to. My guess is if they launch a couple of times, and I think they're hoping to do this before they get much farther with 39A too. They want to launch at least once or twice before they finish some stuff there, and they think that they need more water. That's what that's for. But if they don't need more, then that'll just sit there unused. I think it's there just in case they think they need more.
My assumption would be is that if they do large volume jet directly into the plume to manipulate the initial shock cells that you're getting.
Like rainbirds, basically. I'm thinking
no, directly into the plume so that you can start blowing up its structure with pressure gradient immediately.
So spraying, like spraying directly at the engines at liftoff or like at ignition.
Basically, like shooting jets at probably 60 degrees from vertical directly into the plume, probably along the ridge, either side of the ridge, so that or is they're going to curtain wall the sides of the trench, the speed core.
From underneath, yeah?
Everything would be below the deck. If they need to raise interior pressure to try and steer as a plume, would be my assumption. And it's an insurance policy.
Cool.
I got one more question for you from Gwen.
Just one?
Gwen Evers asking, just one for now. Gwen Evers asking, how quickly can they refill the tanks from the new water pipeline?
Yeah. That's pretty difficult to answer, depending on the pressure and the size of the pipe and all those sort of dynamics.
Size of the pipe, assume a flow rate of probably a couple, like 5 miles or 5 kilometers an hour, figure out the volume and work it back. But yeah, I don't even know what diameter pipe they're feeding. Thought it was a 12-inch, and of course then you'd have to also work out and start making big assumptions on friction losses and other stuff.
We could probably assume they've got it worked out enough that with their cadence for here, even their maybe future cadence of maybe up to 100 launches a year, maybe they can, they should be able to fill it in between launches anyway. Well, you were saying maybe even every second launch they need to fill in.
They probably would just be they'd probably be flowing water into it all the time, sort of like the FCU is going to do to their bulk storage.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's a water pipe. You need to launch more, keep pulling another 12-inch line and just rinse, lather, repeat.
Interrupt the regular broadcast to announce that the next Ship 40 section looks to be in Mega Bay 2.
Woohoo!
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
I literally had Rover 1 up. I glanced up to my monitor above. I'm like, is that a ring section in the Mega Bay? I was like...
Let me look at that here.
I did wonder when the next vehicle section will show up. 'Cause it's been, what, I think the 12th is when the last section's rolled out.
Oh, in there.
How many sections have rolled in so far?
This is 5. We got the nose cone, payload bay, forward section, common dome. This is A23. So yeah, 5. 5 sections total for that. And then there's 2 more left. There's the second LOX tank section and then the aft.
Nice.
So this is a section that sits directly below the common dome section, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah. Which is, you can't, or maybe it's that, is it that one there? Let's see.
Yeah.
That's that barrel section there, just above the aft flaps.
Yeah, it's literally that one.
Then there's that barrel section to go above the aft, and there's the aft still to come.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So that barrel section has no domes, neither will the next barrel section, and the aft has the aft barrel, doesn't it? The aft dome. I think by memory. Cool, that's awesome. Good stuff.
This started on... So they started with the forward section on the 5th of February. So this is 12 days later, and they got 2 more sections left. Plus, they got to do the transfer tubes as well, which I don't think we know how they do that now. I forget. I don't think we saw them install those. Oh no, we did. Yeah, they built. That's right. They built the new jig. Dirt. It's been a while. They finished stacking Ship 39 in November. That's why I forgot. It's been sitting on that center stand since November 19th.
Wow.
It's been a while since they've had that thing stacked.
Very
So we
good.
need to pop it, I'm hearing.
Yeah, we should only be like a week away or so. I think my tracking, what was 6 days from A2 to transfer tubes on 39. So should be rather pretty quick on the next couple things.
Still need to test 39, which they gotta wait for that stand to get built to do that.
Just on a side note too, one of the tower sections for 37 got rolled out. I think it's staged to 39A for now, is it?
Oh, I think it went all the way.
Oh, it went all the way. Okay, cool.
Yeah, I would imagine that. Yeah, module 6.
Yep.
It's a long trip.
It's
14
14
start at
miles.
module 6. What?
Well, I think what they're trying to do, that's one of the sections that actually has the least amount of additional stuff on the inside.
Yeah.
Because then you get 7 and 8, which are the short ones. And then you get 9, of course, which is the top, which I'm kind of curious if they will do the additional roof over here, since that 13,000 should be able to lift that with no problems whatsoever. And then I assume that they're moving them out so they can get started on the next tower, as I'm pretty sure they have 2 sets of the stands, so they might be wanting to get started on the next tower right away because they got a couple towers to build. So
yeah, I imagine it was
towers.
I thought it was so they could start a new tower. So this hasn't even had its blocks installed yet, is it? Well, back then anyway.
No, even module 6 doesn't have its blood. It doesn't even have the idler blocks to transition inward. It's just the structure for it that's on there.
They got all bit though until they even need any of these stacked. They still got to do the pile cap plus the base of the tower and everything. So they're still what? I think it's at least a month and a half probably away. Maybe 2 until
it's about a month and a half. If we use Tower 2's timelines, the base structure should start on March 3rd, roughly, and the first module should stack roughly April 1st. March 31st is the date count based on my calculators.
I think
it might go a little bit quicker this time because we remember all the shimming problems they had on this one.
But
Yeah.
the other thing is, since they're doing the DSM, that might shift when they build the start the pile cap.
Well, the tower, they've already started excavating, so I would imagine that the pile cap's there's probably a good chance that it's started by now.
That's good. I'm more of how much staging areas they'd have around it. There's
a lot.
Yeah, I know I mean, heck, the in the satellite images, the base wall segments that are there are all the way at the tip of the LR13K.
Like they have it is hilarious when you like lay out where the tower and flame trench will be and where a tank farm would be. They have so much room at 37 to do whatever they want. Like they can make the perfect layout because they have all the room in the world.
That could assemble. They could build the tower segments there too.
If they wanted to, they could build all the tower segments there, plus the sticks, plus the QD arm. They could build everything inside the pad perimeter, but what's the point when you've got a nice facility like Roberts Road to do it all at, plus a nice parking area and everything else? So,
is that these bits? Is that that
that's
speed?
Yep,
that's the speed core for the base.
Cool.
We also know the orientation of the the trench too. No.
Yeah, it's definitely not the direction I thought of it, but I didn't really look at the like orientation to compass and go, okay, well, which way would make most sense for like launching and catching and whatnot. I kind of thought it was going to go the other way. Yeah, I thought it was going to go the other way, but that was
They're mixing it up the other direction. If you look at all the spoils from where they've been.
Yeah, we'll have to wait to see when they really start the what? I think all the piles are done, or at least start the sheet piles here.
I don't think they've drilled any of the piles for the trench.
Yeah, I don't think from what I can tell, it's only been tower to piles so far, and they've just been they're doing the DSM.
Deep soil mixing for those.
My question is, where's the second tower and trench going to go? Because if you go by where it looks like there's a deluge set up there, that's not going to be for that pad up there. That seems like it's going to be somewhere down there. Not there, but more towards the perimeter of the pad. I'm kind of curious where that next the next tower.
I think the second tower is going to be down here.
Yeah, that's what makes most sense to me. But yeah, it's one thing that how spread out all the three farms are is kind of interesting to me.
The bulk propellant storage makes sense. Where I mean, at Stennis they're pumping the water, and they're moving a similar higher volume to their test stands than SpaceX is using a couple of miles.
Yeah, you could definitely put it farther away. I don't think it would change too much, really.
Yeah.
I would just be curious to see how they're going to lay this out, because 39A, they're not that restricted. It's just they're a little bit restricted because they're only using like one half or like a third of the pad area. Here they have this is one of the largest pad sites in the world, next to say like Site 110 over in Baikonur, which was used for N1 and Energia Baran. Like that's 37 is one of the largest in the world for just pad area, and they only used pad B. They never ever really used A. So it's kind of nuts how much area they've got to do stuff with.
Well, that's their batch plant for cement, concrete.
This one's for the grout, is it?
Yeah, it's a mud plant.
They have enough room to have their own grout plant, their own concrete batch plant, and enough room to space out all of the piling, the cages, to spread out. They have enough room to have a 13,000 just laying down, and it's nowhere
small.
even near in the way.
Yeah,
it's nuts. Like
that's bulk propellant storage, yeah.
Yeah.
And then maybe water pump.
No, water's over on the right. That's the second. I would imagine that they're working on the second commodity now, and one commodity is down at the bottom.
Yeah, I'd say one's methane, one is LOX and LN2, or you could even put an LN2 next to methane if you so pleased.
They put LIN, but with both tanks farms.
Yeah, I would expect it to be very much like what they've got at 39, where they've got their own setups so that it's not all one set.
They do.
That is true.
Boca too at Starbase, they each has their own methane or nitrogen supplies.
It'll be. I cannot wait for 37. I mean, 39. They're able to use a lot of room to do this, and it looks really cool with the pad they've came up with. I can't wait to see how 37 looks, because it's going to be a tank farm to supply 2 pads.
Yeah, all 4 of those are the only 4 liquid nitrogen bulk tanks.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see this week if we can make out what they've been doing, because they've been changing a whole bunch of the pipe work from on the tank sides of those first 4 tanks as well.
Yeah, they're probably splitting it for methane hard split rather than their half and half that they had currently. They also added a oxygen line. If we look along the wall just past the reclaim. Now the other side, the pump area, it's been there for a few weeks.
I will say this: they are not wasting any time plumbing those new tanks in. They're going pretty quick.
Well, this shot you can see it, the shiny one between the 2. No, the bulk lines running along. It's in the if you right there, that shiny silver one is new. It goes back to the LOX vaporizers, and it intersects just the no, that's nitrogen. There is where it's.
Oh, there it is over there.
Yeah, and it rejoins the pre-pressed line just before it dives into the.
So basically, an extra LOX pre-press line there, or added?
Yeah. Which I'm beginning to wonder if the other one.
How does this compare to what's going on around
hopefully this
Roberts
week
Road?
with the scheduled flyover time, we'll have better lighting conditions. You can go back 2 weeks and it'll show it for reasons.
Yeah.
Because kind of going along with the tanks, we literally just saw, I think, 6 more sets worth of tank pedestals came in. So I really think they're going to try to plumb in those new tanks as soon as they can and get them tested and operational. Maybe before Flight 12 at this rate.
They can't remove the other ones before these are plumbed in if they want to fill it at their flow.
They basically need to they need to swap them over quick, so that they're kind of it looks like they're doing it quick. And then my guess is I wouldn't be surprised if by Flight 12 all those 4 are plumbed in, ready to go. So those 4 plus the 2 big ones are your methane. All the old methane ones, maybe exception to the ribbed ones, because I don't know if those will come out right away, are gone. And they've already started drilling piles for extra LN2 and more methane tanks. Maybe even adding more oxygen.
I mean, if you count outlets, count the tanks at 39A.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, here they had 7 methane tanks originally. It's right there. It's hard to see from this one. It's very visible at the end of the trench.
Now you can see it right in the center, right? If you see the center right down that No.
Yeah, right there it is.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's right between those two.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now, I'll just close that one so it doesn't confuse me, because that was 2 weeks ago. Oh, yeah, so
we have
change,
lots of
and lots
donations,
of
by the way, while
changes.
you've all been talking.
Sorry, say that again.
Donations.
We have lots of donations.
Oh, go for
Yeah,
it. Wow.
while you guys
That's
have been
awesome.
chatting. Yeah, lots of them. Yeah, so we want to thank Joe Coyote Man, who donated $5 and said, somebody has to get this going. Then Yazada came in and said, Joe Coyote Man is right. Here's my contribution, another $5. Then we had Just Martin donate £2. All for One came in and says, of course I can get number 4. Let's go, RGV, with the $5 donation. And James Wilson with a $5 donation says 5 by 5, let's go. And then we also had people donate gifted memberships. Moondove, aka received a gifted membership from Just Martin. And then Darth Lawrence, our own very good friend, Darth Lawrence, donated 5 memberships. And we want to congratulate all the recipients. Congratulations. And then there was a question, but Lada and I are kind of stumped on this one because we hadn't heard anything about it. Get a Clue Boo asks, what's up with Demos 2? Have you guys heard of Demos 2?
Demos 2? Nope.
Is that the drilling rig? Is that what they're talking about?
Not the original one. Get a Clue's talking about a different one, a second one.
Well, there was.
I hadn't heard of it. Yazada.
Wasn't one called? Wasn't they both called the different moons of Mars? Deimos and Deimos?
Phobos and Deimos. Yeah, those two went together though.
Yeah, they were all rigs.
Yeah, that got abandoned a long time ago.
So he's referencing a second.
Right, they got abandoned a long time ago. That whole idea.
I haven't heard anything.
No, we haven't heard anything.
Maybe Get a Clue. If you find out some more information, you could share it with us, because I don't think any of us have heard about that. And that's it for me.
The only thing that I can think of they might be talking about is somebody had speculated that might come in the future on one of the YouTube channels, but there's nothing official in any way, shape, or form.
That poses a lot of technical hurdles.
Yeah, but it were on about making movable landing platforms, wasn't it? You know, you could just sail it out to where you wanted to catch it, put your legs down, have the catch tower there, and just catch it. You know, don't need to remember all that.
But that idea was abandoned a long time ago.
Well, it was those platforms.
Yeah, so I did get the drawworks off them. That was about all. Okay, so that was awesome. Heaps conversation about the water deluge. That's awesome. Yeah, and it was really good to see them up to that stage. So once Boost to 19 gets its engines on board, it looks like they're fairly ready for a static fire. At least the water deluge part of it is. So I'm just imagining I still haven't got connections up onto the tower yet over here. They've got that disconnected for now, but all the launch pad stuff seems to be hooked up and more than likely ready to do a static fire.
I don't know about you, BJ or Alex, but would you guys expect a day or two over the next few weeks before 19 comes out where they open those QDs and they just run the pumps and purge everything out like crazy?
Yeah, I mean, we saw it back on Pad Scrap. I mean, the numerous times that they've done some purges, and we saw the gas coming out at the end of the BQD. So I'd imagine that we would see some purging similarly. I don't know that we'll see anything where they try and flush anything more than gases through. I feel like there's a few people. I feel like there's a few people who would love to like see them like try and like run liquids through almost like a full GSE tanking test without a tank to receive it, which I don't think would ever happen.
Maybe they'll flush locks through and open the locks fence. I don't know.
There's whole procedures for cleaning out pipelines.
Yeah.
Rather than just opening up the end and.
It looks cool.
I mean, that's our criteria. Well, I have a list of things that.
I still want them to knock over that tower. You know,
they still can.
Violence.
Okay, cool. It seems they've been doing testing on aligning the booster and the transport stand. Of sort of some of the sort of things you might see fairly late in a development project. So starting to get Maxilla's computer all sussed out, Maxilla's brain, starting to get its limbs and everything start to get coordinated. Water deluge and everything. So slowly. I noticed they opened the arm up, around the chopsticks up. They're starting to flex a few of the muscles on Maxilla, which is awesome. Now, we've really gone out of order this week. We'll just stay here while we're here. What else happened? Just want to go into, I guess, for the roof. I guess we're into it a bit in show and tell and on the live stream as to the roof and sort of how that's going to work. So I know there's, I'm still unsure whether it's going to be like a raised roof or it's just going to sit flat on the top of the tower. I know there's a couple of different theories out there, but I guess I have to wait and see. Some of those plates, I know there may be some things to indicate that it's just going to sit straight on top.
Yeah, until we see some like short legs of some sort to actually separate it, I tend to think that it's just going to set on it because I don't think I've seen anything that would suggest otherwise as of yet.
The amount they're adding doublers into all of its joints kind of leans it, so it's going to spread the load across the entire existing structure up there.
Yeah, if they were going to put it on a number of legs, you'd expect more point loads, and they'd be kind of strengthening for those specific point loads instead of every one of those beams.
Right. And the frame below doesn't really help answer if it's. We're probably looking at the top. I'm assuming it's just going to sit virtually flat with the existing structure.
I notice there's a slight difference in the beams up on that, just on that little quadrant, this little area in here, where there's just straight beams all the way through. They haven't even got the V, have they?
No, it's just different.
Yeah, I think it all has to do with the fact that the balcony additions to the existing tower kind of they were add-ons to the actual roof structure within the legs. Because this new roof just sits on top, they don't have to worry about the structural beams that actually separate the four legs from each other, so they can kind of just make it a little bit more uniform and full coverage.
Cool.
So along the same lines, Joe.
Sorry, go ahead,
sorry, Jake. Just real fast. Joe Coyote Man's wondering that second structure that they're building, did they put it on top of the tower already?
No.
Nope.
Go ahead, Jake.
They have built it out a lot more, though. As of right now, they've got those two beams in place, and they've got most of these beams in place in here to fill in there. And they've also amassed a lot more plates, as far as I saw. Wasn't there lots more of the plates go on top?
I think they just spread them out because I went through this weekend and I think everything was there already.
Yeah, that stack just next to the tent there looks like it's a heavy, a healthy amount of the plates, and then over to the right as well.
Yep. Fair enough.
And then you can even see how they've got those little grooves in the middle of it, so for the welding, so for them to run that welding bead to the beams.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Plug welding, slot welding.
Yep.
Jake, you were saying something?
Yeah, so you guys are saying, well, that frame there is going to go directly on top of the tower. There's not going to be any sort of like framework in between.
Yeah, that's my working.
Right, so my question is, why are they doing that, and why are they not putting cladding on top of the existing framework that's at the moment?
This framework probably wasn't designed for taking that sort of load. If you look at the frame out of this and the density of the ribs versus this existing, this was
okay.
Yeah, this was designed for answering the question of, keeping the legs splayed and helping transfer the load across from the crown block.
Yeah, and this one is designed to hold plates of steel for shielding, and that's about it.
Yeah, and distributes. Because you don't know this one. You have to sort of design it for assuming the force that they're expecting could hit anywhere on it. So it has to be able to transfer that load to the appropriate load point paths. So
That's a good question, Jake. I did have that same question myself, but yeah, I understand what Alex is saying there. Bit of engineering, and where they go, yeah, and I understand the reason why a lot of people think it may go up on legs. So, but we'll soon see. Like BJ and Alex just both said, there's no indication at the moment. Considering like all the parts are here pretty well, we can see, can't we? Like all the beams, all the plates are here, and we haven't seen any actual leg sections.
So if you look carefully at some of the ends of those beams, for the top they almost have some pads on them, but I thought those were more for like they're going to have some sort of railing up there.
I do have a good close-up of that somewhere. I just found it this morning. Oh, that's another good shot anyway.
Yeah, that's one I was using.
Like that?
Yeah, or that might just be something sitting on it, actually.
Yeah.
But what's strange is the sidewall of the outer one, where it has the plate, the little doubler plate land. No, on the far side, the two long beams next to each other. Down, down, down. That one. That's
oh yeah.
Yeah, that's where the end of it, where it comes together. The beam to the right of it, you have to rotate it 180 degrees so they line up. Yeah.
Yeah, because essentially the one beam that's got the gussets coming on, the tabs on two sides, is the one that is the one that goes over the tower itself. Where you're actually getting the one that's only got the single that doesn't have the tabs on the exterior.
Yeah.
And then that bending plate, like he's saying, is where that other beam will kind of gusset into it at the leg.
Yeah. At the very if you look at the other one, it strangely doesn't have it, which I thought was weird.
Yeah, if you in the what about it flyover, they posted an image, and you can see this thing is almost all the main beams are already installed in it now. So
yeah,
is that on X? Is that on X already?
Yeah, it is.
It is, yeah.
I just tried to find it before.
Yeah, 5:25. Well, 4:21 local time, right there.
Yeah, there you go.
It's just off the edge. Can't quite see. You have to kind of you have to imagine that one little corner is done, but it is.
Or, you see through cranes because
yeah.
they love.
Now they're ready
photobombing.
to install all the plates. So.
I saw another image from these guys straight down here. I was sort of looking to see if they had posted that one. Gee, so this is post-water delete. So they've already pumped all the water out of the flame trench by the look of it too, and there's not I suppose that's kind of full, but I mean, I know a lot of water went out here and here, didn't it?
You can see how
A
muddy it is.
lot, a lot of water went out into the wetlands, but it doesn't really matter anymore. They own a lot of it now, so who cares? And they're able to just build on it, so it doesn't matter anymore, right? That's how it works.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Don't need any TECQ, right?
No.
Oh, is that like a counterbalance crane?
Yep,
Yeah.
I love that little, just like just a wee little baby counterbalance beam.
Yeah, they've been removing and installing a bunch of different ones of those. They put some they've modded a few of them as well. And the way the plate that they've added makes it seem like the loads on it may not have been what they weren't as exactly comfortable with it.
And this is 18.3, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
There's a chance they do more testing with the thing. So we'll have to wait and see, though.
Yeah.
I was talking with Nick about it, but yeah, I think they've been practicing uninstalling and reinstalling truss pieces, and so when they have to do it on an actual booster, they've got practice doing it.
It needs to be bolts, wouldn't they? They're bolt bags, aren't they?
Yeah.
Bolt
Yep.
buckets, yeah.
So,
Cool.
Ryan, is this the EIS of what was that Greek thought boat Thebes?
The what?
The EIS that
Yeah.
that they just keep tweaking that has zero resemblance to how it started.
You're right.
So my other question too is, did this crane actually move?
They swung it.
Yeah,
Alright, and BJ, wouldn't that's within its reach to just lift straight from there, isn't it? It doesn't have to move to lift that, does it?
Yeah, that should be good. It's pretty close. I mean, it definitely can't reach too close to it with how long it is, but there's nothing to say they couldn't put it on a couple SPMTs and roll it a little farther away if they really needed to.
Of course it can pick it up there, because it's got to carry it. It's got to put it over that far away, so that distance is far greater than this distance. So this is well within reach of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Now, I asked that question the other day, and I was like, no, they're going to have to move the crane. I'm thinking, no,
They
they're
could
not.
if they need to, but I mean,
they
they might
could
move the
crawl it.
pad when they set it because the pad seems to be biased to the right side of the frame.
It looks like when they pick it up, they might roll it back slightly, but we'll see. Or it may just sit there and they'll just do it. Who knows?
Yeah, it can roll that way a bit without any more crane mats. There's even some crane mats here, I guess. Yeah, they could go that way a bit, I suppose, for sure, yep.
And yeah, all the doublers on the ground by the white truck or in that Y teaser photo are missing.
Oh, and what in WAI's photo?
Yeah.
Oh,
They got blown away by the water.
That'd be hilarious.
That's funny.
I wouldn't go so far to say they're all gone, but yeah, we definitely saw a bunch of them go up there the other day when they brought the those platforms for the washer platforms down.
Yeah, you're right. I forget how aggressive their grade is that things blend.
So they've been lifted up the top. Cool. So in this set of images, we should be able to see that, though, if you've got access to WA, you should be able to see some of those plates already up there. Cool. Okay, very good. Now, where do we go now?
Unless they've reinstalled that one methane pump and the one little hookup left for the tower. At least I haven't seen a new picture of the backside of the QD arm. I know they were close to finishing hooking everything up. But I think they just need the new roof installed, which shouldn't take too long. Plus the one pump in, plus some like last connections, and then they're done. Like actually done.
Pressure tests,
Well, I mean with construction. Like, and then they got to test everything again, make sure it's all working. And then put a booster on, test everything with a booster on, plus test the booster. And then put a ship on it and test everything with the ship, plus the ship.
Well, the nice thing with the ship, there is a chance, depending how they did their software, that a lot of the tanking at the hot fire stand could be the same procedures. Pressurizing up the COPVs, and I mean, the physical physical layer. Who cares? Sorry.
Let it blow up. But I'm kind of expecting. I mean, other than all the single booster tests they'll do, is they'll do a couple of tanking tests, probably some spin primes, and then a few static fires would be my guess. Once they stack the ship on, I'm expecting at least one tanking test and one wet dress rehearsal, at least.
You'll get two, one, and then the one on the main countdown.
Yeah, and then assuming they don't have any issues, which I don't see why they would be ready for launch. Which, with all that still to play, and the fact that the ship hasn't even crowded yet, I'm still thinking mid-April. I'm still thinking like 8 weeks away. Because the ship isn't tested at all yet. That's why.
Yeah, it's
just I'm still hopeful for 6 weeks, but I wouldn't be surprised if it slips closer to that, Ryan.
An interesting metric, a time frame would be when they start putting engines on 39, I guess.
Yeah, because then they got to static fire that. And let's see if for the first time in forever they don't have to do an engine swap on a ship. With Raptor 3 or something. That'll be another thing. I'd be curious. Who knows if they'll run into issues with Raptor 3 and they'll have to do an engine swap on the booster and have to redo a static fire. There's always that possibility. It is a relatively new engine compared to Raptor 2.
Yeah, I kind of think with all the stuff they're doing at McGregor, but
you hope not, but you never know.
Right, but it's more of they have their aft stand-in for testing a lot of the plumbing and stuff. But yeah,
There's another image of that 39, 18.3 from our good friend Sean. A few images. I was looking through Sean's stuff to see that he's got a picture of the back of the QD arm. I haven't found one yet. Oh, where was I? There it was. He's got photos all around here, but I haven't seen a photo up into there just yet.
Yeah, I was trying to find one too that looks at the top of the tower, because I think I'm not even sure that I've seen it out of any NSF's ground photos, but I know What About It has it. There were some existing tabs on the bottom side of the top beam and the top of the bottom beam of the roof section that have all been removed off of there. And I'm back to kind of wondering if those panels with the I-beams on them are actually going to be essentially a wall cladding that'll go between those two beams, but we'll have to wait and see a little bit.
I think they will, but I'm waiting to see if they're doing any doubler work on that lower beam.
Yeah. Yeah, we could. I think we could make it out in this in our flyover. You could see in the ground. You could see that. I think you could see that the bottom plate. You could see the existing marks from where it was removed off that bottom level of the 9th module. But I know most of it was a lot of other places that you had to kind of look to get those nice close-ups to see it.
The plates that they put in the web on the upper beam seem to sort of match the spacing of those I-beam plates on the ground, just eyeballing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm actually talking higher up, Stephanie, up on the 2 roof beams. Yeah, those 2 beams there. I think you can see that the tabs are still on the right one. No, the bottom one there on the right hand side. I think you can kind of almost make that they were still there during the flyover, not on the edge, but on the top surface of that bottom beam, all the way across the balcony on left and right. And then obviously you can't see underneath the top beam.
Mean that?
No, not on the front. On the sides. On the side. On the side ones where all the scaffolding is. But essentially, on the top of that lower beam, there was a whole bunch of, just like the cladding tabs are on the sides of the tower. There was cladding tabs on the top of that beam and on the bottom of the beam above it, for putting cladding in there eventually. But all of those tabs have been removed, probably suggesting some different tab being used for the new cladding potentially.
Cool. Yeah, like I say, then the next need to put some eyeballs, a little mouth out the front here, and they were laughing. Little fire, a little bit of a fire like they do on some of the on some of the robots, don't they? They make a fire come out of its mouth.
Just put a methane flare stack up there.
Yeah. Tap into here, laughing.
So Mr. Howell's wondering, is there any chance they run water through the new roof?
No. Pumping it up there would be.
They're going to put a tank up there and just pressurize it with a high pressure line with a bunch of spray.
COPV.
Yeah, a couple COPVs up there. Let's do it. What could go wrong, right?
That's a hell of a head of
Nothing
water.
could go wrong. It's already out in the open. If it blows, what's it going to hit? Nothing. We're good. Put as many as you like up there. We're good.
That'd be a lot of pressure to get up there.
I mean, with a high pressure line,
Just a couple of COPV tanks.
That's why you put the water tank on top of the tower.
And pressurize it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean...
We'll see, they're building the roof for rain catchment. That way they can already have the water up there.
There you go.
Ooh.
I mean,
There
they
you
have
go.
the high pressure line running up the side of it when they're pumping concrete, so...
Yeah.
And it's probably, in all honesty, well, we could do the maths, but I'm feeling lazy.
Yeah,
a couple of rainbirds up there. There you go.
But I mean, the concrete pumps are pretty...
Like, I just want some rockets launching, sort of like BJ has on his avatar image. Just saying.
The concrete pump, though, was quite a strong piston pump. Where's your avatar? Show me. What's your avatar? What's going on?
My avatar is just a screenshot from one of my fireworks shows.
The Southern Alex says, yes, those COPVs would really raise the roof of the OLM.
Yeah. Is that what that was? I thought that was a pearl shell or something. So I didn't know that's what that was, BJ.
No, that was a 7-shot instant linear cake.
Nice. Well, now it makes a lot more sense. My brain some days, I tell you. All right. We can edit that. No, sorry. Did I just interrupt someone? Sorry.
Was that a conversation between you and BJ?
Yeah.
Or just between Beth and her brain?
Because I don't see what BJ is referring to. I'm looking for fireworks.
My Discord avatar has a screenshot from one of my fireworks shows.
Oh.
BJ gets to play with the good stuff.
So we put
What?
fireworks on
Oh,
top
shit.
too. There you go. We got to put everything on top of that tower. Doesn't matter what it is. Everything.
In Todd, sitting on one of those angel wings.
There you go.
He will get hurt, though. He's all buttery, remember? He'll melt.
I'm here listening, you guys.
Oh,
That's why I said it.
look, I was looking out for you, my friend. I was looking out for you. Didn't want your butter to melt.
You want to hear something funny? As soon as you said that, I was literally putting butter in macaroni and cheese, and it just
See? That makes you a cannibal, though.
more than what they say. So doing it right.
Yeah, that's doing it right.
Never too much butter in things like that.
Nope.
Cannibal.
And if you guys haven't seen BJ's fireworks show, man, it's something impressive. He has a good setup. That's really awesome to see it.
How did you see it? Are we missing out on some good shows here? What's going on?
Yeah.
How do I sign up to see BJ's fireworks show?
If you search my name on YouTube, most of all of my fireworks displays from the 4th of July are in my profile there.
Wait, so I search BJ on YouTube? I don't think so.
That sounds risky.
Yeah, that's risky.
I'm not doing that.
Come on, Indy.
Sorry,
No.
BJ.
You're researching for the team.
Even
No.
I've seen
BJ,
this
you
guy,
can send
come
me a
on.
link, though. I'm happy to look.
And demonetized.
It's not as bad as you think.
If you search just my last name, I'm like the 8th or 9th selection.
Demodified.
Okay.
You having a laugh?
I was 13 down the line when I just searched just by my last name without putting anything else in there.
I would say that's really dangerous to do on stream.
Be brave, come on.
Put your big boy
Yeah,
pants on.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to put you on the spot, BJ, but it's impressive, so I'm going to throw you out there.
Yeah.
Be sure to use Brave browser when doing that.
I'll throw a link to this year's in Patreon launch for anyone who's interested in Discord.
But well, because I asked later with the letter S and also fireworks, and I did it on the side. Whenever I do searches, I do it on the other screen. If it's okay, I'll bring the screen over here to me to my production screen. It's all good. I won't do anything weird, I promise. My YouTube's really clean. My whole completes are very, very clean anyway, so don't have to worry about that. Okay, now, there we go. Check that out. I mean, this is nothing to do with Starbase. But yeah, it looks like a whole lot of fun, BJ.
Yeah. You'd probably skip somewhere in the middle of it. The first minute is just an intro, and then there's a national anthem in there. But the finale is very very energetic at the very end.
Is it a course you did, or did you have experience with like parents or family members, or have you just something come across your work and you had to do schooling on it?
Yeah, just something I did on my own. Kind of built up a couple of years of just hand firing some stuff, and then I got into electric firing, and now it's a massive, massive setup.
Do you build your own, or you buy it all in?
I buy it all in. I use Cobra Firing Systems as one of the prominent backyard, quote unquote, backyard fireworks firing systems.
Cool.
Still have all 10 figures?
Yeah, all portions that I was born with. I can't say I was born with complete digits, so.
Okay, where are we up to now? Sorry.
Nope, go ahead. Let's move. We can move on.
We can move on.
Let's go to Massey's. I can show some images here from Sean, actually, of some more close-ups. Let me just bring that up over here. Let's start looking now. His latest ones. So I've got some here on the 11th. I think there's later ones. Then let me try another date here.
He did yesterday, and then he did some today too.
These are mostly launch site today. And still nothing from the tower all through this, but I can share this, but we can look at that photo. Hang on. Where are we? Which screen are we looking for? That one. This is hang on. This is the 17th. I was trying to find the other ones on the tower. I think that's tower 1. That's tower 2. I was trying to find something up in here to have a look at the connections, but I can't seem to find anything there yet. There's lots around all different angles, but not that one particular angle. Well, there's a shot Alex keeps asking me for about that thing, but that's.
I found it. Got too slow.
That angle right there showed a good amount of. It showed a good perspective on the water level in that retention pond.
The wading pool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, on the edge on the right side, it's not too far from cresting.
It's basically full. Yeah. Go for a swim? Anyone? No?
I think I'm past that one.
Problem is, we don't need a tan.
Right. Oh, here we go. Let's see what we can see on this album. Just while we're here, because he's got some nice close-ups here. Let's see if we can see anything different. Oh, not that close. Oh, okay. No, it doesn't. No, I can't see much detail. Let's try another one. I thought these, when I saw them, I thought, oh, we should be able to see some good detail here. He mustn't be going down Massey's way either.
Yeah, and it feels like the time of day might have just been a little bit off on where the light was shining too. It seems like everything was like slightly silhouetted or something.
Yeah, okay,
if anyone's having YouTube issues, like half the internet's dying. So yeah.
Yeah, that's what the people in chat are saying. But RGV is still broadcasting strong.
Like Amazon, Facebook,
Knock on wood.
Google, YouTube, AWS, Steam, Cloudflare.
That's a problem. If they're
Cloudflare having.
We shall not die.
I was wondering what was going on with YouTube.
Yeah, it's an internet-wide problem at the moment.
It's probably Cloudflare that caused the whole issue. Just kidding.
Well, yeah, it's what happens when you build your entire system off of one company.
But we keep doing it over and over again. Go figure.
Yeah.
It's the human condition.
Don't get me started. We're not going to get started
It's
on
not.
that one.
We don't learn from history.
You find new exciting ways to innovate our failure modes.
Right?
It's so hard to keep you guys on Starbase on track. I'm kidding. I'm the one.
Now we know how Rusty feels. Rusty used to say that too.
I was going to say, what rails?
There are no rails around here. Rails those are suggestions.
Guidelines.
Can't really see much in there, but I'm sort of hold the assumption that that's pretty well finished, and there might be a few things in here though, or hooked up. I'd like to assume that QD is actually ready. I'm just wondering why they haven't already started to purge some of it. So maybe there is a couple little connections here or there and there's still scaffold here and there. So maybe there is a few connections here or there still need some tidying up.
They may not have pulled all the wiring through the entire arm yet as well. It,
The wiring, yeah. So, yep.
it wasn't that long ago that they were messing around with that conduit.
Yep. That's probably what the hold up is, yep. And then there's all the programming and making sure your wires and your channels and everything's on the right switch and the right contact and the right valve and all that sort of stuff. Then programming the whole thing.
Let's swap the methane and oxygen lines. Makes it more. That adds the more excitement, right?
I reckon. I should imagine the programming on Starbase is fairly intricate. Even before you go to flight software, just the GC stuff I would imagine is fairly intricate. So there's anything of, well, I suppose there's not much here really. I mean, there's stuff, we see this in our aerial stuff, so I might hop off Sean for now. Back to our photos. I got that down pat now, haven't I? Huh? See that? It's the other one's still there. I'm just not running everything through OBS anymore, just the Sean stuff. So yeah, so I mean, I know we're still thinking it's all to do with flap testing. We did see some words on there saying, what were the words exactly? Something about ship flaps.
Flap actuators. Ship flap actuators.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, that's another level of testing to the whole sitch.
Yeah, I don't know. It's been talked about yet, but on each of those brackets down the bottom, there seems to be a blue piston of some kind on each one now.
Yeah. But did we see that last week, or was this week we saw that the first time?
This week.
Yeah, this week we talked about it during show and tell for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see
Oh,
it in there, yeah.
Where would they hook up to? Would that be flap actuated as well? Or
right
spot? Flap.
Yeah, the 3 stack definitely seems to be related to aft flaps, where the top ones are forward flap related.
It's the right spot, the aft flap. So the bottom of the ship is somewhere down here, perhaps a little bit lower than here.
That cross beam. The one jutting out. Yeah, it's right about that level.
And then they go up above the QD a bit, up to maybe here somewhere. Maybe even a bit higher, but it doesn't matter. But yeah, so it's sort of around the, I'm trying to think, would that be around one of the hinges or around, is the actuator that low down there?
I didn't think the all the hinge points were that close together on the aft flaps, but I guess they are.
No, they're not. I don't think they are. No, I don't think that's what's going on here. The flaps they're installed, aren't they? They're on 36 now, so it's not. I don't think it's going for the hinge points. Might just be grabbing the actual flap itself. And if they can swing, sorry.
I mean, it's hard to tell exactly. I mean, I do feel like it could be close to the hinge points, and that the middle one would be where the actuator is, because the actuator, I think, is on the second one from the bottom, and then it would miss the fourth one that's up at the top where the taper is. Either that, or maybe it somehow connects to the back of the flap at the end, and that's why it's not doesn't include one that would be on the taper, so obviously the geometry would be weird with it mounting in a different spot.
I suppose it could be. I thought they were way too close for that, but yeah, there could be. I have to wait to see the ship here. I'm wondering whether the so the ship's here and the aft flaps are folded back. Oh no, they'll be out, won't they? That's right. They'll be here. They'll be sitting sort of over the top of. They'll be sitting over the top of this, won't they? The aft flaps out here, won't they? Will they reach that far out over that frame?
I don't remember how far they reach when they're completely folded out. In either case, I don't think they're going to interrupt with it. I mean, those are fairly long rams.
It'll be.
But aren't they doing something?
Sorry, go ahead. Annie.
Go on, Ryan. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say those flaps will be deployed. They'll be out over those truss pieces a little bit. Not by a ton, but they'll still be out over them.
The actual ship's about here somewhere, so that are the flaps like that big, or are they only like that big. Anywho, could do some. I'm not going to though. Alrighty.
But I thought they're doing something differently because they don't want the tiles to fall. I thought they were not chaining them back or doing something differently so that they don't vibrate. No?
That's assuming that that's what this is for. I mean,
Yeah.
it might have nothing to do with hot fires.
Yeah.
They don't
Right.
They don't train them anyways. Whenever they've static fired ships, even going all the way back to SN8, they don't chain. They unchain the flaps forward and aft for when they do static fires.
Yeah, but they keep the ship chained, yeah? They have it
Well,
like
the ship is
I know
clamped.
they have to,
Yeah. But like
I just thought they were
flap-
looking to lower the vibrations because they've had so many tiles fall off during static fires and everything.
Well, it's not that.
it's
The
more
thing
the
is,
older
though, with
days.
the thing with static firing, we know ship 39 is going to be out there on this, or we're assuming it's going to be on this at the static fire stand. So no static fire. So a lot of this test equipment is going to be used without static firing, maybe to start with. I mean, that's probably assuming a lot as well, actually, isn't it? So I would personally think this has nothing to do with static firing. It's more about what Alexon has been saying, drumming in your head for the last month. It's about it's structural integrity testing with a new version ship. Or with a ship in its entirety too, which they've never ever done. So I'd say not, because they haven't, they've had plenty static fires now. They were losing tiles on the old suborbital tank farm static firing where they were blasting straight onto the ground, but since they've had this, they haven't had as much trouble with tiles falling off, have they?
They haven't really had a lot of tile troubles with static fires since like the later parts of the Block 1 era. It was really like SN 20, 24, 25 because they couldn't have cared less about the tiles on S25 and whatnot that were really the issues. 28 had maybe a few there and there, 29 and 30, but those went significantly down, especially on 30 when they redid the entire thing with the ablative. 31 didn't have much at all either, and then Block 2 had almost no
like
issues at all because
two
they're on
more
the
recent
trench.
boosters. Yeah.
Because they've been on this, and the flame trench plus the diverter has significantly reduced the vibrational issues that they had shooting against a flat piece of concrete with no water
Right.
at all. I'm sorry, the hose they had is literally nothing.
The one fountain.
That was a joke.
Little sprinkler head. Yeah, that was fabulous.
That was funny.
Can I recommend looking at 39.1 since that shit, I believe, has the flat points on it?
Come on, Dark. Don't bring reason to our discussion.
And evidence. Reason and evidence.
Well, yeah, there's no place for that here.
Yeah,
That's what we mean. That's what we like.
This looks
Don't
naked
pull
without
Alex.
the
Don't
frame.
leave on us yet.
This looks naked without the frame.
Yeah, that's gonna look weird with that whole frame there.
Yeah, I just wanted to say the one ship that SpaceX didn't have a lot of trouble with tiles falling off of, and that was ship 36. Sorry, I had to.
I mean,
what about
they did fall. They did fall, but only after they were shot out in another direction.
Oh, I thought you said 26.
No, he said 36.
No, I said 26.
Yeah. And it's still a sore subject for some of us. Still in mourning.
There. Would you like a hot beverage?
26 was useless. So was 20. 27 was far more useless, though. At least 26 commissioned the static fire stand, but 27 sat like a lump and then blew and then collapsed itself.
Lawrence, here they do seem about the right. Yeah, I think you're right. They do seem about the right sort of distance, don't they?
Yeah, middle one right at the QD, and then the top one like 2 rings above it.
Yeah.
Darth here trying to come in with logic. That's not allowed. I'm sorry. That's not allowed.
He's not trying, Webby. He's doing it.
That's just not how we roll here.
No.
We need to mute his mic.
Yeah.
As I get muted.
Hey, Weber.
We don't need to mute you. We just talk over you.
What?
You know it doesn't happen a lot, Webby.
What?
Me coming in with logic.
Mm.
It's a good suggestion. So we can even see it here. If we look hard enough now, I know what I'm looking for. Oh, that's still a bit too blurry. Yeah, this week's image wasn't good. This week's photos weren't good for fine details, but they were excellent still for, for general details and how things are coming along, like the extra LOX pump, and they've added a few things up here and rams and that. So this Thursday's flyer, we're going to get some of the high details that we've been missing this week, which will be awesome.
You sound so spoiled and bougie. It's sickening.
I try hard. It's my new image, Alex.
Seriously.
Have you looked at the original shared images? I'm surprised you got anything from all
that. All right. Yeah, we're looking at the shared images. Yeah, this was an interesting little thing we worked out this week. I was pretty impressed that we worked it out this week. Well, we believe we've worked it out anyway. This thing here.
Well, I'll interject on that, given the fact that they've removed all the clamp arms between yesterday afternoon and today.
Oh no!
But it still could be for,
it could still be for that, but an interesting interim step in the process.
No, I'm going for stack firing on the OLM.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm going there.
You're banned?
Well, it's obviously for a test article, and it's obviously for sitting on 20-somethings. So, you just destroyed my whole... Maybe they got a second set of arms to go in there that are, because these are fairly specialised. Maybe there's a second set. I don't know. I have hope yet.
Yeah, I mean, I could see for us. Sorry.
Oh, just down the bottom, there's just clevises. I mean, maybe they bolt onto the clevises even. I don't know.
You're reaching.
Yeah, I would think that I would put money I would either put money on them reinstalling them without the clamps, or there being a new set of arms that have a different bolt interface that's slightly different than the clamp interface, and it's just easier to unpin it and put a new set of arms in or something.
Now you're talking. Are these the clevises for the center engines? No, they're on my plate, aren't they? They're on here still. What are they?
Stuff.
Yeah, I think the haze and whatnot made it a little hard to tell exactly what some of that was. I mean, we definitely confirmed 19 out of the 20 arms came out. I'm assuming that the 20th did, and either we missed it or it just looked different, because there's a few things that looked. We didn't get a profile shot of every single one of them coming out, so there's a couple that looked like we were seeing down the end of them, so they looked like it could have been a ram instead. But there's a lot of different pieces that came out that I haven't identified what they are either.
How did I miss that? Is that in Zach's server, all that?
Yeah, I know Vix is working on putting together a full time lapse when she confirmed that all of them were out. But I know she time lapsed the 7 from yesterday, and I know she got all 12 timestamps for today. But I'm not sure if I've seen
carried away.
But I'm not sure if I've seen her post it yet for today's.
Okay, I guess everyone got all excited about the water deluge over last day. Cool. All right, thanks for that update. Thanks. No thanks.
And I just looked. She did update the time lapses over in Zach's server.
Oh, in time lapses.
But on Avid Space Rocket Ranch, you'd even be able to scrub to it, and I have the timestamps on it. I still haven't thrown away the post-it note that has all today's timestamps on it.
It's a pretty high-tech organization system you have going there.
Oh, you shouldn't see. You don't want to look at my desk. There's probably 20 post-it notes of miscellaneous notes that half of them I probably don't know what the notes mean anymore.
Passwords.
Is that up on the pins? Is that, where is that? On Vix's? Oh, the clamp arms.
It's in the Starbase time lapses, the subfolder of
It's
Star
a thread.
Schematics. So yeah, it's in a
Yeah.
subthread.
Do you not see it? I can help you with that.
Oh, yeah, I'm getting there. Yeah, I've got it now. Ah, okay. I'll stop scrolling. Go. Oh, there we go. Yeah. I don't think Zach Mines is doing this, does he? Oh, there you go. Well, that dashed a few hopes, but yeah, like I said, maybe they'll modify and put them back in again.
Dashed a few hopes, eh?
Well, where?
Dashed her hopes.
Just seemed to fit together so well, that little theory, that whole. That's just a perfect fit. It's like couldn't be more perfect if you tried.
And it's gone.
Just like the proof stand.
The proof and breakover stand.
Well, no, that wasn't a breakover yet. That was pre-breakover days. No, I'm talking about when they're making the new boosters proofing stand. When it was just merely a disc.
Oh
yeah.
Oh, the interface, yeah, the Super Crusher interface ring that was just a booster cross stand.
Yep. Yep. A lot of broken dreams have that Super Crusher.
There have been a lot of broken dreams with theories at Starbase. Let's just be honest. My dreams were completely shattered when I learned SpaceX was doing 20 Raptor QDs. I was just like, wow, you're seriously that dumb to think that that's going to be a good thing to keep going forward with the program. And look, they didn't do it anymore.
Actually, they sort of did, except they put a big manifold around it.
This thing you're talking about?
Yep.
I'm talking, well, they translated to a manifold rather than 20 separate QDs is my point.
They still have the same individual connections. And if you looked at 17.1,
all right.
Yeah, they're just not. They've just put all the Q parts of them into one instead of 20. There's still 20 keys. Just they're not.
There's nothing quick about
one
it.
key.
They're not disconnects anymore. It's just a manifold.
It's a disconnect. It's
just one. That's my point. Well, technically two, but yeah.
Or more.
There it is. Yeah, it's sort of having that ring also, because where are you? Having that ring also sort of makes sense of those smaller rings too there at Massey's to be the center for the center engine mount testing. These rings here, this one and this one, perhaps, but it doesn't matter. We'll soon see what happens. Well, if they put this in, they can put some rams in the center. Instead of being mounted on this plate, they can be mounted on this plate. Sort of where I was going with that. Because they're sort of similar plates. So that one's it looks like exactly the same plate, even.
Yeah, that plate, and then the other flat disc that's up by by that other center hub that has been around forever. I mean, those I'm pretty sure if we were to go back are probably exact copies of what's underneath those two rings.
Exact.
So plot twist. They put that in there and then put this back in, and it's for another booster test. Alrighty. Why is that over here still? Just because they couldn't be bothered moving it yet, or is it going to have some kind of test?
It's going to go back in the Super Crusher.
Go back in the Super Crusher? No.
Yeah, they just need to get the Super Crusher reconfigured for 39.1 and then take it back so that they can try and get to 20 or 30 tests on that test tank.
Yeah, I have an idea 39.1's coming back in here. But, like I said, only speculations, like Ryan says. Half the time we speculate stuff, we end up having a hot beverage because we get upset. It's all good. Part of the fun, apparently. Alrighty. So Massey's here. Not a lot to say at Massey's, I don't think, really, what we haven't already gone through.
We did get lots of donations while we've been talking.
Oh, do that for sure. Oh, wow, we've reached a goal. Wow, that's awesome. Go for it.
That's right. We had a goal of 10 donations during the stream, and we have met that donation. Thanks to everybody in chat. And we'll start off with gifted memberships. We want to thank Peen What for donating 5 gifted memberships. And also, that's it for the gifted memberships for now. And then we got Just Martin, who donated another £2. Thank you, Martin. He says, choo choo. Yazada comes in with another $5 and says, gotta get RGV aerial photography over the line. Martin comes in again with another donation of £20 this time. Go Martin. And he says, just for fun. And then I donated $20. And then we got the last and final donation from All for One, who donated $5 and says, I can almost always get in 1 time. Thanks, RGV, for the expanded fun. And then I got a question for you guys whenever you're ready.
Go for it.
So Get a Clue Boo asks, do you think Starship will ever be able to go without static fires or cryoproofing? Massey's is a huge cadence bottleneck.
Between flights? Yeah, eventually. Like they do with Falcon 9, where they don't static fire cryoproof them between flights anymore. But for when you initialize a vehicle after construction, you still need to cryo and static fire it. They probably won't thrust sim them in the future once they are far more confident with their dome building and everything else. Once they're cranking them out, but they'll roll them out on a static fire stand most likely. They'll cryoproof them. They'll static fire them out at Massey's. They may do some final checks, and there's a chance that it goes straight from there to get it to whatever payload processing facility it's got sitting on the static fire stand, and rolls out to the launch pad with the static fire stand because we know it's set up for that, and then stacked and launched. But that's probably far down the road.
Event says cryo stage 4, you say?
The reusability will help with that cadence bottleneck too, obviously in the distant future, or in the sort of not too distant future anyway. Sorry, BJ?
In the foreseeable future.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, cool. Is that all, Indy?
Yes, that's it for me. And for everybody in chat so far. Good night, Gwen.
Awesome. All these donations help heaps towards going towards the fuel and the aircraft hire and the pilot hire. It's all it all adds up, the expenses of running this channel in the background. So really appreciate the donations. The channel really runs on donations and memberships. So good on you all for keeping that up and keeping the channel nice and healthy as we move forward. Really, really appreciate it. And that will allow us to continue to do this that we all seem to enjoy a lot. So that's really nice to see this community get behind the whole channel. So thank you very, very, very much. Massies. Okay, so Sanchez, we've kind of went through Sanchez. Oh, there's this new stuff over here. I guess we can probably poke at it just for a minute. Because we kind of did in show and tell a little bit. Sometimes in show and tell we do these deep dives a little bit, but that's mainly for members. So now we've got a heap of people who aren't members here listening to us now, so we can have a little bit more of a poke around here. We notice these new frames here. They seem to have a whole little slot in them that sort of similar to what we see that hold actuators and what have you vertical, like in the crusher stands and that. So maybe to do with that. They seem to be in threes. So the things that are in threes, I mean, I don't mean to assume things, but like this thing's in threes that stand over the back, and it's got those 3 arms there, and over here there's those 3 arms here. There's even 3 new things here. There's 3 pipes. There's 3 stands. Kind of indicates that they may all have something to do with each other. But let's have to keep an eye on that. Go.
And what currently would need something with 3 things tested?
Grid pins. Well, not that one, but grid pins. Where is he over there? Grid pins. Which haven't been tested at all. So, the sockets, the whole thing, everything to do with the new grid pins really haven't been tested, which sort of adds weight to this being grid pin testing. I'm wondering, could they put sensors on this? I suppose they could do that. They could do that through computer software, couldn't they? What I was sort of thinking is put load on the grid pin that would sort of simulate aerodynamic forces and see how that aerodynamic force translates into the mounting brackets. But I think that could be simulated on a computer. Maybe this is just to try and see if they can actually bend a drive shaft or not.
Remember, you're optimizing for weight. So the lighter weight you can make stuff, you kind of have to test it to see if you went too far.
Yeah, that's fair. To take what do you say? Take
to failure.
Yeah, take things away and then put back things you need later on. It's one of the engineering methods we heard Ellen talking about.
I mean, that's common, and look how good modern appliances are engineered. They fail right at your warranty expiration point.
Weren't the old ones like a linkage? Or the new ones are more of a direct drive, aren't they? With that little cavity.
Yeah, seemingly it's all contained in that little.
It's here. They haven't got the actuators. Oh, do they? Yeah, the old one had a motor on the side with some kind of gear drive up the back of it. Then a linkage coming over to the actual grid pin. So a lot of reduction could be done like on the end of the motor. Now they're going to basically have the motor on the end of the grid pin directly attached, but would have to have some kind of planetary, even maybe multiple planetary gear systems in the interim to get the torque they would need. I mean, those Tesla motors are fairly torquey, but she's a big boy. They need a little bit of torque to move these things. They've taken all that drive off, haven't they, on this thing?
Scrap it.
So they're just flapping in the breeze. So yes, sorry, Alex, do that again.
Just weld it in, call it good. Or as long as it's going to stand and look pretty for the rest of its days.
Bit like we used to do in the differential of our race cars, we'd just like weld a plate in, to stop then the diff wouldn't be a lock diff. It's one way to lock a diff anyway.
Makes cornering exciting.
It's okay on dirt. Spinning the wheels, it works really good. Yeah, not so good on bitumen, but awesomely good on dirt tracks. Yes, so that's that testing going ahead. So build site, unless there's any other questions at Sanchez. I mean, look back over here. I was looking this morning to see if anything had happened over here in this tent. There was nothing really to look at there. It doesn't look like they've hooked anything up or anything yet back there on this new tent here and their new dust extractors, and that doesn't seem like. I did notice on the front there's a couple of holes for, I guess it's for air movement. So I guess when you're extracting air, you don't want to seal it, do you? Otherwise you'd implode the thing and need air coming in somewhere. It doesn't even look like they've hooked these up yet.
But there's those L's that were in that area last week by their paint shop.
Over there, sorry.
Down by to the left of that tent.
Ah. What are you thinking they are?
They were over by where we were just looking on the two Massey's area. Hey, they look like they're like that platform that they're built, or that frame they're building. They look like they're all part of the same assembly, whatever it may be.
Yep, man, this thing's going to be a contraption, I'm telling you. Full-on contraption. Bit like, this thing, bit of a contraption. Oh, actually, while we're here, this Kiwi, Chrome Kiwi updated his drawing here, added a few clevises, and are they that symmetrical? I think they're not that symmetrical. And added these down here. There's still a couple of these new. So those, where we saw those rams sitting on these, I guess they can pivot, or are they welded on? Or maybe not. So there's steel arms, looks like there's steel arms coming forward now, and a blue ram sitting on top of them now. And maybe they're just like literally platforms to hold the rams until they're attached to the ship, which could be the case.
Yeah, that's my going theory right now, is that it's just a storage location.
They did a similar thing at the top platform as well for actuator storage.
Yeah, for where the three are connected before they connect them to whatever it is that they get connected to.
Exactly.
Yeah, hopefully we get some non-hazy shots and we can dial into the details.
Yeah, there's this detail and there's this detail. And this detail. So sorry, up here you're saying actuators up the top as well with one of those shelves.
Yeah, the center on the very top
platform. Oh, that one, yeah.
Yeah. You can't really
all
see
three,
it in the phase.
all three of them. Yeah, we kind of looked at it in one of Sean's ground photos during show and tell. I know we talked about it a little bit.
Oh, from the back. Yeah, okay. Yep. I was thinking, was I there?
Yes, you were.
Yeah. All right, cool. Now, it's jumping around all over the place now, sorry. Yeah, like I say, even still, it was really worthwhile taking the flight this week, I think. And these are kind of new. We've never seen these before, have we? Anywhere before?
Yeah, they've been sitting over next to where they're building the new static fire stand.
Yeah, we really haven't paid too much attention to them, but they have been sitting around for a decent amount of time.
Oh, that's right, down in here. Yeah. Near the structural integrity stand.
Yeah, that thing.
The eyesore.
And there's a couple of them near Mega Bay too, but that might just be coincidental.
And there's probably some behind the factory as well.
Oh, around in that, yeah. Let me quickly look over there. Where is that? This fella. There could be even. Well, especially in the past. Maybe not today, but yeah. There's the second-hand clock pointer. Well, that's what I see. Apparently other people see things different. Now, over that wall, no. Yeah, we might have seen them in here, but weren't really paying attention to them. These two crazy-looking things haven't moved. No, I can't see any right now, but yeah, like I said, they could have been there in the past. All right, build site. While we're at build site, there wasn't a lot to talk about build site. Gigabay has been, well, it's hard to say Gigabay has been quiet. I'm sure there've been, lots and lots of work is going on. It's just not necessarily that visible. With painting, bolting, getting the rebar on some of the platforms in the centre and over that area, and so on. So there's a bit of work to do before they start going up the next level. Getting things square, perhaps, making sure everything's nice and straight at this stage. We did notice some rebar out the front for the turnout. That's not the best image for it. think that one's better. Nope. I saw some ground photos. I think some of the ground photo guys have got images of that too. They should have anyway. Yeah, that's got rebar in it. So we might, we've done launch site. We might do what we're supposed to be doing in this whole episode, is the things that aren't the main sites. So let's have a little quick around the sites outside of Starbase. Might just go through them. Oh yeah, so there's a cloudy picture of Highway 4 storage lot. I'll come back to that one. Let me see. So still, we should see these come back to Marvin soon. Oh, hang on. What are they doing here?
Storing Marvin.
Oh, that's the boom bits that they didn't rent coming back from the ASU.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and even the remainder of the counterweights have been brought likely to there. I mean, the path that they have traveled down Highway 4 would assume that they came back to this lot. So I'm wondering if there's going to be a little bit of delay before they reassemble it. I know the reports are saying that they're going to get replacement parts rented for the heel and the winches and stuff that are being sent off for refurbish. But it definitely seems like that that's just going to be delayed. I know a lot of those reports came before the report about the heel being sent off for repairs, because that was the only element that didn't get refurbishment last year when the rest of the boom was sent away during the OLM lift and stuff. They still used the SpaceX boom heel for the main boom for that configuration.
Is that the heel or is that the other end of the boom?
No, that's the heel.
Oh, cool. What makes it distinctly that? Is there a winch in this part? Is there a winch in this part of the crane?
Yep. Winch number 6, which does the whip line, is in the heel. Plus, you can you can also tell by the backstop rams on the top there.
Okay, yeah. Cool. Because I mean, they have rams up on the top but too, don't they? Sometimes up underneath. They had them on. Wasn't that where the ones on the 8800 broke? Is that where that one was?
Yeah, for the jib struts, for the luffing jib strut.
So maybe they're storing him here, and then Libra. This might be a SpaceX truck running stuff here, and then a Libra truck might come along and take this back to wherever. Yeah,
it seems to be what the situation is. I know the heel came back on an SPMT because it's too heavy for any of the yard trucks. They'd have to bring in one of the heavier haul low boys, I think, for it.
Yeah. Well, not like that.
Yeah.
It looks like a toy truck. Man, that'd be really handy. That'd be a very handy little machine. That it's got good vision all around it and everything.
And I think those tank pedestals that are under your hand right now, I think might have been where the 6 that went to the launch site today came from, potentially.
There's some. There's they Marvin counterweights. Are these ones here? These counterweights belong to this crane, yeah.
Yeah, those ones on the left are the Tadano ones.
And there's more over here.
That's all LR weights right there, other than the metal ones to the right of it that are just generic ones that they don't really use much anymore. Not quite that far over. Next to just to the left of that, between those ones right there are those older. Forget what the weight on those. I think they're like 12.5 ton different ones. They're not Liebherr ones.
And these are the ones they had in the counterweight tray. Is that right?
Well, they would have at one point. I'm trying to remember where the timing was on. I guess those ones would have already been there. It might just be the extra set. But I know there's been a whole bunch of shuffling back and forth between the different crane setups right now.
Sure. And is a counterweight tray here? Or is it still ASU?
They're both at the launch site. The Vario tray is on the Buckner crane doing the tower work, and then the one they brought from Marvin is at the launch site that's being used for the counterweight. The black one, the black frame is out here that was used with Marvin during the OLM lift. That one is still at the Highway 4 lot, along with the B2 Stinger. Which is interesting to me why they didn't just use the black tray and Stinger. I think it's just in the far right corner that's off of this image. But it's interesting that since they for all the ASU work they didn't need a stinger. I'm kind of surprised they didn't just use the tray that was already here instead of hauling in a rental tray. But whatever.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Thanks for that. Okay. This looks like Ad Astra, with their little little ship mount back here. What's changed this week? I suppose not a lot. Looks like they're not working on the roof so much this week. Maybe too long. They'll probably be starting to fit out classrooms and so on, electrical work and plumbers and cabinet fitters and all that sort of stuff. Bit of playground stuff starting up. We did notice on this lot they've actually put in, that house has been put in, but there's still what, 1, 2, maybe 3 or 4 still to go. There's 2 there still to go. Oh, and 2 here still to go by the look of it. Oh, hang on, let me see. We should be able to see. Oh no, there's no mirror. Oh, there's a mirror. Oh,
Well,
no,
yeah,
it's
but
not.
you can see the services coming out of the ground. There's 3 more that still need to be put in. Yeah, there's 1, 2, and then there's 1 right behind the gray one on the right. Yep.
I was seeing that as one as well, but that's not at all. That's one of the supply things.
Yep. So they brought in 2 houses total since we last saw.
Including the one that was already here, so 3 together.
Well, there was that one that we saw that was sitting there, and then they've brought in a second one. We just didn't see it get installed. But those 2 that are the closest to the end there, those are both brand new.
Yeah. Very good. I might just be able to see that back corner there, BJ. Oh. That's a bit blue.
Yeah, I wasn't seeing it clearly. I know. I wonder if it actually has been moved somewhere.
Maybe. Oh, maybe it did get. Oh, yeah, maybe it wasn't on site. Maybe that's why they had to bring one in, because it wasn't on site or something. There we go. Oh, that's a good shot of. Sorry, I'm not picking on the photos, but some days it's just not quite as clear as others. But still, I'm really glad we got this week's photos, because yeah, we got a lot of really good information from them. Oh, that doesn't belong in this folder. So can we see, have they got double? Have they doubled it? Is that both oh yeah, they've got concrete up to here now on both sides. They've finished that bit of services work here. Doing some more groundwork along here. So I wonder if that was just, oh no, it must be up to here somewhere by now with the services. Perhaps, it's only a guess. What's this a photo of? Oh, Ad Astra again. Cool, this is a better shot. Oh, so that's a truck parking spot, you see, that's where they park the trucks. Yeah, someone's sort of gone to town on designing this a little bit like sort of artistically there. It's kind of cute, I guess.
Yeah, that median has a really funny shape.
Turning radius for bus.
Yeah, it's kind of, yeah, then get back into here. I guess there is some function over form for sure.
Yeah, and then the parking on both sides, kind of like how we saw on the LBJ, there was some weird geometry with the side street parking and whatnot. I think it's once they pave it and line it, it'll make a little bit more sense, I think.
Another one of the Formula One tracks in here. Zoom around here, zoom around there, zoom, zoom, zoom around there, back around here. Be cool. Or maybe super go-karts, whatever. And some of the little go-karts he's played with BJ, far out. They're pretty quick. And it must feel so much quicker being 1 inch off the ground too.
Indeed they are.
Oh, that doesn't belong in this folder either. Did we see any extra decent bit of... I'm just wondering if these weren't in the right folders. We didn't look at them on the shows, but I think this one was in the proper folder as well.
Yeah, you can just kind of see the piles kind of towards the middle there. You could see the rebar, but it still didn't look like it was really set out. If you go scroll left a little bit, one workstation to the left in the center spine, you can see the piles there, just top left of the image. Yep, and then the floor below, but looks like they've just got the bundles up there and not actually really doing much with it just yet. Probably change the next flyover.
And you get the apprentice to one at a time, drag the bars out this way and start tying them all together. Cutting them to, they might even come cut to length this way even, perhaps.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they are.
That's not what they're doing here, is it? Is that?
No.
Okay. Cool.
If I was to guess, that's probably welding wire for them putting Nelson studs in.
Okay, yeah. Here we go. One of the steel lots, the lot on Highway 4. So yeah, still lots of steel. Anything in particular different in this lot?
Not a whole lot different. I mean, over on the right-hand side, if you look through all those long columns, you'll see the goofy tie and angle bars coming off the middle of a lot of them. Trying to find me. Yep, you got one right there. Yeah. So that was that hint that we knew where the next set of tie-ins were going to be when they started this next level.
Okay. Yep.
There's not a whole lot super identifiable in this layer, unlike where some of the previous ones where we kind of were starting to see where the doorway lentils and stuff would go. There's not a whole lot of that going on with this next level. Obviously, we've got those shorter ones there. They're actually just to the left of that one, right? That one you got your hand on right now. That one's got some interesting tabs in between the main levels. I'll be curious to see if that's going to be intermittent levels at a higher level, but it's hard to tell where. But that's what it kind of suggests to me.
Cool. The handrails, the upper stairs.
Yeah, and then up in the top left corner, there's a lot of different short columns coming in for most likely. A lot of these look like some of them are for the partition wall on the stacking cell side, because they do have column extension going past the horizontals. I'm not sure for sure. I think farther up, might be some of those half level columns that are for the rest of the stations that stop at the top level. Yeah, that top row above that double one. But that one in the middle too, that one is longer. They're double floors, but they are definitely a shorter spacing between the two floors there. So that's another one of those ones where I'll be curious to see where they go. My guess right now might be that they're going to be those, for anyone who's watched Space Coast Live at the Roberts Road one, I think that's those ones that we're seeing that stick up higher than the normal fifth level columns.
And those might be for bridge cranes, yeah? I
don't think so. I think those ones are normal gussets for the angle braces. The ones that had the ones we saw at Roberts Road that I suspect are for bridge crane rails, they're not square cut on the end of those extensions. They're like tapered back a little bit. So I don't think that's the case.
Yep. Well, chat's still very good. Couple hundred people. That's awesome. That's getting a pretty good turnout for these shows. I'm really impressed. Really appreciate you coming along and listening to us talk Starbase for a few hours. JFK. Just out of curiosity, was this ship named during Kennedy's life or afterwards?
That would have been likely afterward.
Yeah, they usually their remembrance.
Yeah. Like an active president doesn't usually name a ship after themselves, do they? That's usually someone beforehand. No, I'm not being political. I'm just curious.
Yeah, they're usually named
It was
way
laid. It
afterwards.
was even laid. It was laid down even after he was killed. It was laid down on October 22nd, 1964.
Wow, is it that old? Far out. I thought maybe 70s. Yeah, okay, cool. Thanks. Thanks for answering that. I appreciate it. I'll just leave it there. Thanks. Cool. So I don't see. Oh, so they're still getting away. They're still working on it. They're nibbling away at it. It seems to take forever. They seem to have sort of come to a spot where it's taking a while, but maybe there's more services or maybe there's more things in here that need to be pulled apart more delicately. I guess the real. Oh, this one's not nuclear, is it? So it's only a diesel engine down there. Or heavy
For
oil engine.
steam turbines.
Oh, steam turbines. Okay, with boilers. Yeah. Not diesels. So the new big container vessels have got big diesel engines in them. Yeah, I wonder why they didn't use them in these. Maybe the steam's even more power again. Maybe these, that bit quicker or whatever than the container ships. Well, they didn't have to be. Yeah, speed. Yeah.
This carrier could max speed is 34 knots. Is what it could do, and full displacement, fully loaded, is 82,000 long tons. So
that's speed. That's 30. That's 34 knots there. You can barefoot at that speed. That's fast.
Yeah, it was designed to make sure it kept up with what at the time it would have been Spruance class. Oh, I forget. There are a lot of the earlier Cold War U.S. Navy ships. This was before even like USS Bainbridge, USS. This was right around the time of the USS Enterprise was getting made, as well. But this is just before the Navy was like, well, let's go nuclear and everything. And then they realized trying to make nuclear cruisers it's stupidly expensive. So they decided not to do it.
Sharpie's listening. Sorry, the closed captioning's not really picking up my voice so good. It's picking up everyone else's voice. Must be the Aussie accent. All right, so that's the shipyard where they're pulling apart the JFK, USS JFK, not the KSC, the JFK. All right, what else here at the port? It's interesting. Oh, that's an even better shot of the JFK. We don't seem to have the LNG plant today. Must have been under POG this week. That's fine. Missing it for 1 week won't hurt. Okay, the Port Connector Road. Still 3 tanks sitting there.
Oh, that's right.
Water deluge tanks. It took me a second to remember what they were then.
The other day I was like, what are those tanks again? Those aren't the methane tanks. It was like, I was having one of those brain moments.
It's only these outlets that triggered me to what they were. Just, I'm not going to lie. The aluminium store, the aluminium store. See what you're doing to me? You're changing my accent. I'll be talking like an American soon. All right.
Well, we all got to learn how to talk correctly every once in a while, you know?
Don't worry, there's no chance of you getting an American accent.
So if anyone's wondering, just because we're here, we were talking about it, that ship, when it originally was commissioned, would have sailed along the lines of the Farragut class, Charles F. Adams class, Spruance class destroyers, Albany, Belgenkamp class, Leahy classes cruisers, like early Cold War, early guided missile destroyer and cruiser classes. So when it first was commissioned, that is, it would eventually sail alongside Arleigh Burke's because it was in commission until the early 2000s. But yeah.
So did this see any conflict, like active service?
Yeah, it saw the Vietnam War. I don't know how many
Yep.
battle stars. I can even see how many battle stars it has.
Oh, Battle Stars. I think it's in Battle Scars. Battlestar Galactica. What? I love that show. When I was a kid, when it first came out. The second series wasn't bad. I thought the first series was better.
Let's see here. Where was it? I'll have to find how many battle stars it has.
Someone's asking, did you say Leaky Class?
Leahy. After Admiral William Leahy, who was
Leahy.
one of the main. It was chief of the Navy before Ernest King took the role in before Second World War.
Oh, not General Lee, Admiral Leahy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, wow, you know your military history pretty well, Ed. Is that a hobby of yours or something, or interest you have?
Yeah, it's a hobby. I've seen the if anyone I just make this say, if anyone wants to know like World War I, World War II stuff, it'll take a while to go through it, but the Time Ghost History channel has done a week by week coverage of World War I and World War II. So you're talking 550 some odd episodes, 10 to 20 minutes a piece, covering week by week of both wars. Yeah, it's interesting stuff.
Yeah, I share the interest, especially with aircraft stuff. I mean, I really hate wars. I would not go to war. I don't believe in war, whatever. But I know there's a price to pay for freedom. So, but I am interested in the mechanics. The mechanics of things, like at Starbase. I'm really interested in mechanics of things, not the politics of the owners and that. So that's why I'm really interested in things like that too. Yeah, especially aircraft carriers, the way they, it's like it's a full airport all in one ship, and huge amount of people, a huge amount of planes. The logistics are just phenomenal. They're mind blowing. It's it's an interesting subject for sure. Chat's telling me there's a new JFK commissioned and undersea trials right now, or undersea trials, maybe not commissioned yet.
CVN 79. It's undersea trials.
It has the electric cats, yeah.
Electric catapults. It's the second Gerald R. Ford class to be built. So yeah.
Nice. All right, cool. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate your knowledge there. Yeah, so that's the Port Connector Road, the aluminium store. I'm not sure this hasn't sort of been used much, because people are saying it's in receivership or whatever. But that doesn't seem to be getting used much at all.
57 Concrete supplied all the concrete for the flame trench piles, if I'm not mistaken.
This one, just recent now, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay.
Yeah, they went into bankruptcy protections just to protect all of their assets, so they could continue operating.
Okay, cool. Yep.
It'll have some use here once they hit once they start digging out that trench, and they'll need it to fill the cap on the trench and the trench walls, and then the pile cap for pad 1, and then of course all the concrete they're going to do for the expansion. They'll still need it for that.
Trying to find a dump truck. Oh, cool. Yeah. So the brown lot. No. Yeah. Yeah. It's still got a fair bit there. There seems to be more on the highway. Oh no, I suppose there's a fair bit here. I suppose I was going to say there seems to be more here than the Highway 4 lot, but no, there's quite a lot here. This week, I think BJ was saying about these.
Yeah, and this lot receives all of the non-column steel, so that it's kind of the separator between the two lots. Interestingly, those rails that have been sitting out on those 4 trucks out front there for the last 2 weeks now. But those are the door rails for the 2 main doors.
Okay, yep. With their slot. Is that their slot down there, yeah?
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure where the doors slot in there, if it's just on that one middle track, which I think it might be, but it's hard to tell the details on what that profile looks like. It looks different on the ones on the back door.
I remember having this conversation when the first Megabay doors went in about how that slot was going to work.
I'm just waiting for them to start level 4 already.
And yeah, they've got more of the crane sections ready to lift the cranes should they need to once they have to finish level 4 first, or at least get it underway. They have to finish it first, do they, BJ, before they can put the tiebacks in?
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine they hook the tie-ins until they're a good bit of secure on that next level.
Yep. So that's all the outside shots we had. How long have we been running for now? 11, nearly 3 hours. Okay, 2 3/4 hours. So how's chat going, Indy? Is there anything they want us to cover now that we haven't covered so far?
Nope. We seem to be having conversations amongst ourselves and talking to you guys at the same time, so we're good for now.
Cool.
We were all just talking about the JFK.
Oh, cool. I say Alex is left. That's cool. So between BJ and Ryan, any other sort of areas you want to talk about before we sign off today?
I think there's really anything else to cover. We're just kind of waiting on more progress and some stuff, really.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think we've covered them. I was trying to think if there was anything. I know we didn't really look at the ASU, but I don't think there was really much there to discuss either.
Yeah, actually, I did go past that before I noticed we hadn't been there. But yeah, it doesn't matter. We don't need to go there. All right, cool. Well, Matt, we'll thank Matt. I'll thank Indy first for being in chat for us and answering questions and the donations. And wow, thank you so much for the donations. That's really, really, really nice to see. Thank you. Totally unexpected. We really, really appreciate it. Thank you very much. And
yeah, we have the best chat.
I'll let Indy sign up. Indy, I'll let Indy sign up, and I'll let you pass it over to Matt to sign off the show. Thanks.
Okay. Thanks for having me, guys. Looking forward to seeing you on Thursday for the flyover, weather permitting. And with that, I will leave it with Matt.
Yeah, we really appreciate you guys being here for Starbase Expanded. All of us really enjoy this show. I think it's kind of like a nice little midweek wind down and just chat along session. So yeah, a lot of fun. So yeah, thanks again for being here. Thanks again for supporting the channel, everybody. And we have an early flyover this week. It's actually going to be on Thursday at 2 p.m. Central. So look forward to that. We'll be having the flyover stream on Thursday, and then we'll be doing the show and tell that night. And looks like we'll be doing Starbase Weekly on Saturday. So that'll be a cool little change this week. So until then, we will see you guys later. Love, peace, and chopstick rail grease.